Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today is your fourth lecture together. I'm excited to be sharing this one with you. We have 5 and 6 left after this one. And after you did your priorities, when we asked you what you need next in order to be a successful AI strategic business leader, you wanted productivity. So that's what this one is all about. We've moved productivity to today because I have a feeling we're going to spread over 2 lectures for productivity. It's a lot of different options that you'll have. And then AI for business development is another aspect that you're very interested in. And then lower down the list was chatbots, ethics, best practices, and risk management, which we'll all do on the last day together. So we've just tweaked this a little bit where AI productivity is today. And then next week we'll do business analysis and business development. And then the final week we'll do chatbots and ethics. So let's just get right into it. So here's a little productivity hack that I find very useful. I'm hoping you will too. I take this prompt and I go to ChatGPT because that is my go-to place often, and I will ask it cancel, and I will put it my prompt in here. I already did that earlier, and whoops. So the prompt is there. It says, you are an expert summarizer and critical reader. So that's who I've asked ChatGPT to be. Please extract a summary of the attached expert excerpt. Please provide me key points and insights. So this could be a PowerPoint, a long document, and or a spreadsheet. So I'm going to just add this file. Let's just go look for something. West. And it was just an old quote that I put together. So I'm going to just add this here. And that's it. So the PDF is attached, and I'm on research, and I have more tools here, but this will be choose the tool. I don't want to create an image. I don't need to search the web. I don't need to write code, so I'm fine where I am. So I just click on this one, which is the sharing the prompt, as we all know, since we've done it so many times now. And here you go. It's giving me the key points from this old quote as to the structure of the training plan, and what each aspect costs for this client, and my summary. So I just love that. So if I could put in a anything that I wanted to, and it will give me what I ask it to. So it could be a summary, could be a what are the if I'm it's a contract and I want to know what the gaps are in the contract. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I wanted to share that little hack with you. I like this one. There's another hack that you might find useful, and let me go to it. This one is if you're looking at a really long video and thinking, geez, I want to know if this video is worth me watching, or is it, what's in the video. So here's a prompt for that, where it's going to look at your video. Now, you can't do this one in ChatGPT just yet. You have to do it in Gemini. So you got to do this one in Gemini, okay? So if I go to Gemini, it's a cool new feature. I just love it. And let's just go put Gemini in up here somewhere. Gemini AI. And it finds it for me. There it is, gemini.google.com. And what I'm going to ask it to do is I'm going to put in my prompt. Whoops, sorry. I keep on forgetting to right click and paste as plain text. So I put in my prompt, and then I need to share the video I want it to analyze. So I had copied and pasted a video for us here that I want it to analyze. It's actually a very cool productivity hack that I'll be sharing with you later on in this presentation or in next week's presentation if we go too long. And let me just go back and whoops. Yes. So I will now uh, put in the video as well, the video link. Whoops. Okay. I want the video link. Okay, so obviously I need to go get the video link because it's not giving it to me this way. So I need to click on this and go to the video link. About that. So I just need to get the share link. So if you want to ask it to analyze a video for you, you need to click on the share right there. So I'm going to click on share and then I'm going to copy that link. And now I'm going to go back to Gemini because this is where I was asked, put in the prompt in the first place. And let's go back to Gemini. And here I'm going to put in my link. So I'm going to put in paste rather. So I put in a prompt which says, as an expert video transcriber. So this is a video transcriber now. And critical reader, please extract summary information of this transcript. Please give me the key points and insights if that's what I want from it. Okay, so now I just go like this. I share it. I ask the question. It's thinking about it. It's connecting to YouTube. It's reading the transcript that it can read from the video. And it's telling me everything that's in that video and where the important links are if I want to jump ahead. I go, oh, yeah, I don't care about this. I don't care about that, but I care about this. Isn't that excellent? So that's a great little productivity hack that I find has been helping me immensely to know what's in a video and decide if I'm going to use it for you guys, for example. So I hope you find that useful in your own world. Let me just move you guys out of the way. There. Okay, and we'll go back to our PowerPoint. Now, those were just a couple of hacks that I've come across and that I use by going directly into my tools. And so I wanted to share with you another one that I've used. Again, it may or may not be really AI, this one, but it's a checklist generator that I really like. So if you're about to do something new, about to do something that you do over and over again, you might want to create a checklist. So you can go to um, any of our AI tools and create one. But this one, I'll show you why I like this one. I like this one because it's by industry. So it already has specialization in it. So and I absolutely love this. So I can go down here. So right now I happen to be in accounting, and I go down here and it's showing me um, tax planning checklist, bookkeeper and accounting checklist, budget checklist. If I want to view them all for accounting, I'm able to view them all. So risk management checklist. Let's just take a look. So here's a checklist. You can download the CSV file, um, and or whatever you like, and then you can have this checklist. Oh, I'm sorry about my cold. So it's pretty cool, right? So if I go home and I want to look at perhaps manufacturing checklists, so I click on manufacturing and I go and and if I go to manufacturing, it's down here, sorry. So I have to scroll down to manufacturing. Unless I had something specific, I could have put it in there. So let me just continue. This is for Sherry's benefit. And there I was seeing all the manufacturing, inventory management, shipping and receiving checklists, regulatory compliance. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so I wanted to share that one with you. That's called checklistgenerator.ca. That's at a high level how I use those two. I think, and they're free. So I absolutely love those two. So I hope they help you as well. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the meat of how to use our tools integrated in things that we do every day. Okay, so what do we got? We're into 10 minutes now. So, as I mentioned many times, our tools are integrated with our AI world is now starting to come into every tool that we use normally. So, half of you seem to be using the Microsoft world, and the other half of you seem to be using Google. So, I'm going to show you both. And then, of course, Microsoft uses Teams. Those of you that aren't on Microsoft, you're using Zoom. And many of us are still using Canva. So I've already showed you some of the Canva features But I'd like to show you the other tools here. Okay, so let's get going on this. So let's just look. So Microsoft, the integration on Microsoft 360 or in Enterprise Microsoft looks like this. It's the Copilot little symbol is now on your when you're on home, you'll find it on the top row if it's been enabled by your technical people. So as we know, some companies don't want you to have access to it because of their own regulations, but I imagine that's going to be less and less. So to find out more about this, you can go to Microsoft Copilot, and I'm just going to scroll down. This is where I want you to go, and we can see Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft Chat, Microsoft Agents. So agents are now built right into it. So it's not that I'm going to get into agents as well because that's huge with productivity, but it's becoming easier to create agents. And then because we're in Microsoft, Microsoft Teams, and Outlook. So let me just show you. So right now I've clicked on Microsoft Copilot, and let us share that with you. Oops. Okay, so let's see what you can actually do now with it. There's Microsoft Copilot in 360. It allows you to work in Word, PowerPoint, or Copilot Excel. And each one of these has different features that just keep on getting better and better. Um, and this is a really good resource because it I would use this resource if I was using Copilot because they will update it all the time versus me just sharing with you videos that I'm finding. This is from Microsoft, so it's a great resource. And Microsoft 360, it's been about $30 a month for quite a while. It still is. So it's 365 rather. This is the one that we use as individual business owners. And so that's pretty cool. So let's see what Copilot Chat does.
I tend to come into the office in the morning and ask Copilot, now what's happening today? And for me, that's a good way to just get my head around what I need to be tasked with today.
It's not just about the speed, it's also about the quality and the creativity of the team.
People can be up 10 to 20% more efficient.
Microsoft 365 Copilot is an integral part of our operations going forward.
In a past life, I would have had staff to do research on any particular topic over the course of 2 days or more, right? Here with Copilot, for me, I can definitely get a research piece done, understand the sources, get a summarization of it, and have it on my desk in 2 hours.
It really is providing new insights that I might not have thought about.
I make my legal department, that's me and an executive assistant, a little bit bigger by feeling like I have Microsoft Copilot next to me as my junior associate.
Copilot is able to grow alongside our business.
I think that true value is going to focus on continuing to drive quality, and Copilot is going to be there every step of the way to do that.
Okay, so this is what we've been talking about when we go to Copilot on its own on the side. And now it's also with this one because we're talking about Copilot as it's integrated and it sees your calendar, your Outlook. It sees your calendar and it sees your emails. It can also now access all of your Word documents, your PowerPoint documents, and if you have it saved in the cloud for your with with Teams, you're actually also with your Microsoft World, it can share and you can collaborate. So instead of just yourself being able to edit your document, you can have others edit it and document at the same time if you want. You can invite your team. So it's so powerful, right? So let me just go back to X out of this, go to the agents that you can create on Microsoft.
The magic of Microsoft 365 Copilot gets even better with AI-driven agents that connect to your organization's data sources and automate your business processes, making your workday a breeze. Creating an agent is done directly in Copilot Chat and just takes a few simple steps. Start by telling Copilot what you want the agent to do. Then, expand the agent's knowledge base by providing resources like websites, uploaded files, or organizational or third-party work data. Your new agent will inherit your existing organization's security settings, helping everything stay protected. Once your agent is ready, you can use it to troubleshoot with customers in real time, handle repetitive tasks, or even let it operate independently. The possibilities are endless. Plus, you can access your agents from any device, whether it's a PC, mobile phone, or tablet. Empower your team and transform the way you work with agents in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat today.
So that's fairly new, but it's very exciting. So I need you to be aware of all of these as a business leader, and then we'll dive in a little bit deeper. Or I'll give you resources that you can dive in deeper if you need to, but we'll dive in a little deeper as a team. So here's, no pun intended, here's Teams.
Action-packed meeting? Stay focused on what's important with Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams. During your meeting, turn on transcription. At any time, ask Copilot, recap the meeting so far. Prompt Copilot for a summary of key points and next steps. See a summary of action items assigned to specific people. And ask Copilot if there are any unresolved issues from the agenda. Try Copilot in Teams today.
So with Zoom, as you know, we also have the AI feature. I wouldn't be able to do a Zoom anymore without that because I've become dependent on the AI giving me a summary and action items. Teams is the same thing. It's going to give you some pretty intense action items and summary notes from the meeting. Talk about productivity saver, right? And then finally, Outlook, if you're using Outlook.
With Copilot, it does seamlessly integrate into our current work processes. Everyone's able to use it in their own ways. Sales can use it to create emails, marketing can use it for content, and operational we can use to deliver even better customer service for our clients.
Sometimes I have to send out emails to the whole company. I'll ask Copilot to just rewrite it for me in a way that makes it more approachable for people. So it just helps me speak in non-lawyer language. Every dollar that we save on outside counsel goes to kids in need. Microsoft Copilot is just one part in that money-saving mission.
Hey, here's some more resources for you. Copilot is where I'm going to start. So Copilot has three different versions. One is the browser version that we've been using to ask questions to, and it's been replying to us. So the AI browser version. And then Microsoft, because they created Copilot, has it integrated into their applications that we use every day. So I just showed you those, but there's two different kinds. So of the ones that are integrated, there's for enterprise version that has all of these features that you're able to do, which is very powerful in collaboration, in sharing documents, getting updates. It's still asking the smartest number of people in the world, AI, what you can improve, create a I'm in Microsoft, so create a PowerPoint. It can look at a document, and then from the document, it can create the PowerPoint. It can look at a PowerPoint, create the document. It can look at the document, create a blog. So there's so much you can do. You can create a summary from your Excel spreadsheets. You can look at the Excel spreadsheets and see where the trends are. You can share that with your team on Teams, which is the equivalent to Zoom on Microsoft. On Teams, you have the ability to do all sorts of cool things like we do on Zoom, where it saves the transcript of what's being said, but more than that, it knows who said it. It knows what the action items are. It knows what the timelines are because it's listening to your meeting. But because of the artificial intelligence, it knows how to take the minutes, create the action items. Pretty cool, right? So it can do so much. So basically, all I'm sharing with you here is if you're on enterprise version, your IT department, your central department for your IT has to enable the AI to work, the Copilot to work on your Microsoft applications. If you are a smaller company and you have Microsoft 365, then in this case, you're able to engage with it. You're able to actually put it on your Microsoft tools yourself. And I think I showed you how to do that a couple classes ago. So it's then you're able to have the power of Microsoft even if you're working on your own. And then you can even share those documents with others and have them collaborate. It's not as seamless as if you were on enterprise. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that both types of organizations have access to it. So now moving on to the Google world. In the Google world, there are sheets, which is like Excel. There are slides, which is like PowerPoint. And there are docs, which is like Word. Okay, and we know that. So there's a lot you can do now with Gemini. So if you remember when I first showed you integration, when we first started the class, I wasn't showing you Gemini in the integration because it wasn't readily available. Now it is. So if you are using your Google World, then you are able to now see this little button here on the side, which is actually a little star. You click on that, and then what happens is Gemini pops up on the sidebar, and now it can look at your spreadsheet. It can see what's going on in your spreadsheet. It can give you suggestions on what you might want to do with this spreadsheet. It'll give you suggestions on reports you may want to run. It'll give you suggestions on graphs it can create. And then when you say yes, create one of these graphs, it'll put it on the next sheet. As you know, we have sheets on Excel type programs like Sheets. So that's pretty cool, right? So now you can use those graphs, those charts elsewhere. You can even ask it to create a formula for you if you're not sure how to create these formulas. So that's very powerful. So there's this link here will take you to the help desk or the support resources that Google has created. So it's very in depth on how you use these tools. So not all of you are using it, but those of you that are, you will want to look at that eventually. And then Gemini integrated into Google Docs, of course. So you'll see that on the side here. You click on that and it opens up the prompts. It's seeing if it's already a doc that you've created and you've just, this is an old document that I had from some time ago. Um, and the actual Gemini is now there where it wasn't before. Excuse me. And it will summarize it for you. It'll create a PowerPoint from it if you want. So there's so many things you can do. Write a blog for it. Put some images in it if you want. So there's all sorts of cool things you can do. And then, of course, Google Sheets, which is like your PowerPoint. It will, again, you'll see it up here. And you can ask it to, you can give it some information about what you would like, just like you can on PowerPoint, and it'll create the PowerPoint for you. That's really cool, right? And then you go in and you put your own knowledge into it, of course, because as we know, you are the subject matter expert. It's just going to get you started. And then you can have it look at it again and see what's missing. Often I'll get started in a PowerPoint and I realize that I'm repeating myself, or I have some content further down that really is related to something earlier. It'll tell me what's out of sequence for me. It makes you so much more professional, and it's faster, of course, to use these tools. And that's where you find this one. And again, right down here, I have a link for you on how to use all of these different tools. Okay, so what's next? So this is really cool. I really like this. So right now, you cannot go into your Google Drive, which is where you store all your Google documents or your Google Slides or your Excels. So that's your cloud-based storage. With Microsoft, you're able to store it in your cloud-based enterprise storage, no problem, just like you can in Google Drive. But the difference is, what happens is with Microsoft, you can currently say, please look at these 5 documents or 50 documents, and you check off the ones you want. And then it's able to, so that's pretty cool. And it can summarize it. It can create a chart. It can look at trends. So whatever you're asking it to do. Whereas with the Google Docs world, it can't do that just yet. But this integration that they've just created, and is brand new, ChatGPT integration, you're able to integrate it with your Google Drive if you want. This is ChatGPT. So we know the prompts. You know the prompts now that you can give ChatGPT. So you can have it perhaps look at your, Google Calendar and your emails and find anything to do with a certain person over the last number of years and put it into a chart or a certain topic and give you a summary. It really is amazing because now you're not reinventing the wheel. If you had a project that you worked on earlier, you can find everything out about that project and ask it to give you a checklist or summary for it. It's really, really powerful. And ChatGPT will link into your Microsoft world as well as your this world. So every time one gets ahead of the other one creates another tool. And this one, I think, is just a really powerful tool. So I don't know if you remember earlier, I asked the ChatGPT. No, I asked Gemini to summarize a video. This is the video I asked it to summarize. It went in and looked to see what this video had. So let me just share this video with you on what chat. It's 8 minutes. I think we should be okay because I think it's one of the most powerful tools I've seen out
Hello
there so
everyone,
far.
and today we're diving into one of the most exciting new features in ChatGPT, a major upgrade that could completely change your work. OpenAI has officially introduced MCP, which is short for Model Context Protocol, and if you look at their announcement here, it says that ChatGPT can now connect to more internal sources and pull in real-time context, keeping existing user-level permissions. If you've never heard of MCP,
So basically, you're now asking it to perhaps find out trends from the internet with reliable sources that are current, plus look at your work that you've done on a certain topic. And now it's bringing it both together, your own files, oh my goodness, blow my mind, right?
MCP before, here's what you need to know. It's a standard that lets ChatGPT securely connect external tools and data sources like Google.
And it's really simple. I just did it earlier and you'll see the results. I went in and I enabled this and and it came up just like it says, which often it doesn't, right? And then I attached to it my Google Gmail, my calendar, and my Google Drive. And I was asking it questions to summarize the interaction I've had with, in this case, I said Allison Peak from Trent University, and it came out with all of the different meetings we've had and what we've said and what our outcomes are. Hello, it was just beautiful.
Google Drive, Google Calendar, Gmail, Dropbox, HubSpot, your Outlook, Teams, and many more. With just a few clicks, ChatGPT can now search, fetch, and use information from your own files and emails and documents all inside a single conversation. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how I use it with my own Google Drive to support advanced research with results that are fast, structured, and grounded in real data. So depending on your plan, you'll see that pro users will mainly be able to use the built-in connectors that they've already added here. You won't be able to customize external tools just yet, and you'll see that you'll only be able to use it with deep research. But as we'll see, using it with deep research is one of the most important ways that you can use it. So many people are calling 2025 the year of AI agents, and this is a major step in that direction. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how connectors in ChatGPT work, how to set them up, a real example of how useful it is to integrate your Google Drive in your research. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is setting it up together step by step. So what you need to do is click on your profile and then go to settings. And once you're in settings, you're going to find here on the left hand side connectors. So we're going to choose that, and this will open a number of connectors that you can choose from, and you can choose the tool you want. For this video, we're going to be working with Google Drive. So I'm going to select Google Drive, and then what you need to do is click on connect, and then you agree to continue to Google, and then you'll choose the email that you want to connect it with. And then once that is done, it will ask you to select what ChatGPT can access. So I'm just going to allow it to access everything. And then once you've done that, you'll see that Google Drive is now under my enabled connectors. Okay, so now once Google Drive is connected, ChatGPT automatically has access to our files and can pull directly from the documents stored in our drive. So if we look quickly at my Google Drive, you'll see that it will be able to access a huge amount of research articles that I have already uploaded from all the various folders. And not only that, but it will be able to access my other study files. For example, it will have access to the study overview and research questions, the various data sets that I have here, any files that you have stored in your Google Drive, it will be able to access that. And as you'll see, when we ask it to generate a full research report on AI in healthcare, it doesn't just search the web, but it will have access to this entire research archive. It can read our actual files, extract the content, and write the report based on both the search that it does online as well as our actual files. So in order for us to be able to access the Google Drive files, what we need to do is we need to run deep research, because it's only available when we activate deep research. It's not available in chat right now. So we're going to run deep research, and once you've done that, you'll see that now you'll have your web search connected and the Google Drive connected. Now, the other thing that you need to know is that you only have the option to connect it to your general Google Drive. You cannot specify specific folders. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that in our prompt.
So this is excellent. So it looks at your entire drive, and I didn't catch that point when I first did my research on it to ask my questions. So it took a long time to give me my answers. And then I realized, as she's going to say here, is you can ask it to go to your, go to your Gmail, go to your calendar and find out every time you've met and what you talked about. But you can also ask it to go to your Google Drive in specific folders, which I have a micro-credential folder, of course, and just look in that one for everything that matters to what you're looking for versus looking at your entire world of Google Drive. So that's a kind of cool little tip.
We actually mentioned the specific folders that we want it to access. So in order to help it to really focus on where it's extracting the information from. So let's look at what I've added in my prompt. You're going to see that I've said I'm preparing a comprehensive research report on the role of artificial intelligence in improving diagnostic accuracy in healthcare. And I've mentioned here I've connected 4 Google Drive folders to support this task: study overview and research questions, data sets, literature, government reports, and try to draw attention, try to get it to look at these specific folders when it's conducting the research, please use these materials in conjunction with credible, academically rigorous external sources to develop a
So she's looking at her own sources as well as external sources and bringing it together. How powerful is that, right?
detailed evidence-based report. I've also given it some key instructions. Use the study overview and research question folder to establish the research scope and clearly define the guiding research question. Conduct in-depth research using peer-reviewed journal articles. Integrate insights from the literature folder as well to either support or challenge findings from external sources, and then also draw on the government reports folder. And then I've also given it some idea into how to structure the report in terms of an introduction, thematic analysis, key discussions and practical applications, conclusions and recommendations. And then I've also given it some referencing guidelines. And here reference all materials from Drive by their file or folder titles. And I've asked it to cite external sources using APA. And then once I have all that information and my prompt is ready, I can then enter that. And then you'll see that as with conducting regular deep research, it comes back with a number of questions. So it says, should the report cover only diagnostic use cases in human healthcare? Are there any specific countries you have preferred length? So I'm just going to add here all no preferred length. And you'll see that now once it has all the information, it will begin the research. Okay, you can see now it's searching in my Drive, it's searching for research question 1. And you can see here that it's saying reading more from Google Drive. So you can see that it's extracting sources not just from external sources, but also from the Google Drive itself. And now it's gathering insights from external sources as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the output that we've received after running our deep research prompt. And what you can see is that this is really impressive. From the beginning, you'll see it begins with a clear, well-written introduction, and then it defines the scope of the research, explains why AI and diagnostics matter, and it sets the stage with the focused research questions that I have in my folder. And you can see it combines the information, the study overview and research question materials, and then it tells us by investigating these questions, the study seeks to illuminate the current role and future potential of AI in diagnostic decision making. What you'll notice in the thematic analysis is that it not only builds the analysis around the clear, meaningful themes, but extracts information using a combination of the Google Drive as well as external sources that it's found related to the different themes. And this is following the instructions that we mentioned. And it doesn't just list the findings, it weaves them together into a narrative, and you find that it's coherent, that it's backed by evidence. And I like that it integrates the quotes as well from selected sources in the Google Drive. And it does this with a large number of themes, and then it follows the structured headings that I've asked it to incorporate, which is the key discussions and practical applications. Again, you'll find using the external sources and some information from my Google Drive as well, and continues to do this for a large number of themes. And then we have the conclusion and recommendation section. And then, as we mentioned, it identifies where it's extracted the information from and includes the list of sources at the end as well. So you'll see that it's done a great job with this. However, there are certain limitations that we need to keep in mind. For now, MCP only works in deep research mode. It's not available in the general chat. Reports can take 10 to 40 minutes to generate. This particular one took about 20 minutes, and several times it had to go back to the Google Drive to extract the information. But that's expected because it's doing quite a lot of reading from the Google Drive folders. The other thing is that you'll see that although it references Google Drive, it doesn't specifically tell you which folder it's extracting the information from. So you need to be very organized, always go back to that folder and see where it's extracting the article from. However, it does tell you the name of the file that it's taking the data from, so that at least you can go back to that reference. The other thing is that when you connect it to the Google Drive, you don't have the option to choose a specific folder. So a workaround for this, as we did in the beginning, is to specify which folders that you want it to focus on when extracting the information. So despite these limitations, the fact that ChatGPT can now integrate, read, understand, and deliver information based on our own data is a huge advantage. And I see that these ChatGPT connectors are just going to get better.
They're going to get better and better. So that blew me away. That's brand new. I absolutely love that new feature. I think that'll be really helpful for you. And so this is the one that I created. I went into, let's go over here. Down one, down. There you go. I went into the prompt I used in ChatGPT. Can you please extract a report sharing with me the number of times I've met with Allison Peak from Trent University and the type of interactions? Please share with me a detailed report and a summary chart. Pretty cool, right? So then it came back with this huge report with all the times we met that I could show you if you wanted to. And then it summarized it into a chart, which I absolutely loved. And I can upload the chart. It actually, at the end of it, said, "This report is now included in my official Trent AI Micro-Credentials project documentation." So it saved it for me as well at the end in my Google Drive. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm in love. So I've sent you some links for it, but I just wanted you to know that I believe is going to be a huge time saver. Imagine you're creating a business plan and you have your own financials and information, and then you also want to so it'll search on that for you, but you also want to have external input, and it'll be able to do the both together and bring it together for you. Very powerful. So that's going to be a huge one for time savers. Now we've got Copilot agents, AI agents. So within Copilot itself, you're able to create agents. So how are we doing? I think maybe I should get into agents next week. Let me see. Yes, I think I should. So I have, if you want to look at them ahead of time, these slides will be available for you. You got Copilot agents and customizing Copilot agents for yourself. And meaning, so if you want to create a meeting request and for many people, it can do that for you and then go out and it'll search their calendars and find out which works best. Then all of a sudden, if you have something change in your calendar, it'll move the meeting for you. If you've asked it to give you 30 minutes before and after every meeting, if you've asked it to give you time that you actually can work on something at a certain day of the week all the time, maybe it'll incorporate that in there for you. There's much more that it could do as well. If you have a spreadsheet with certain information on it, and every time you add maybe a client from your website to this spreadsheet, and you upload automatically this spreadsheet, you can have the agent upload you can have the agent add a line to your Microsoft Excel, because we're in Copilot here. And then you can ask it to send a welcome or thank you email, depending on what you're doing, to that new person or line on your spreadsheet. So again, it depends what it is, or if you have a project and you want it to automatically send updates or reminders, it can do that as well. So some of this we have from before in project management software, but now it's become something that that's really simple to do with these agents. So I'll show you more next week. And then this one is another tool where you can integrate ChatGPT to Sheets, and then from Sheets to Canva. So people are using this for creating, say, hundreds or 50 or so. This example shows you 50 marketing messages for social media. So you tell it what you want, it comes up with all the marketing messages, and then what it's going to do is put it into a spreadsheet, because why into a spreadsheet? Because it needs to go into a spreadsheet in order to do a bulk upload to Canva. So this is saying or thinking that you have a template in Canva that you are now going to have these sayings, if you're going to be collecting sayings, or if you're collecting words, or if you're collecting tips, or if you have a blog that you want it to cut up into little pieces, or if you have a video you've just seen and you want it to transcribe the video and turn that into a whole bunch of different social media posts. The limit is endless of what you can do now that we know ChatGPT can integrate with your own documents, with the websites, with other websites. You can ask it to create information that you are now going to use, and you summarize it into a spreadsheet, and then it then sends it out maybe through email if you want, in individual emails. Your imagination is the limit, and that's why I want to show this to you next week, because there's all sorts of little templates and AI agents that are pre-made for you already. And that's a big change too, since we started this course just a few weeks ago. So I'm going to share that with you next week. So in essence, I want you to think about, what do you want for your final project? Do you want to create maybe an agent that does some event planning for you, or an agent perhaps that does, um, you look at a process, and what they say is if you do a process twice in a week, a repetitive process, then you may want to use an agent for it. So if you have something that you're going to do twice a week, you only know what you do twice a week, for example, or more, that might be what you want to create a AI agent for. So think about that, and maybe you'd like some help. Email me on what your final project should be. So we know that somebody's going to be doing their marketing plan. Another person, I'm not sure what she's going to be doing, but it sounds like she might be getting competitive knowledge on a weekly basis as to what her competitors are doing. So think about what you want to do, and I'll be happy to talk to you about how you might want to do it. And these are just some ideas, some AI business processes you may want to put in place. And you've seen this before. I've shared it with you before. Okay, so there is AI calendars, which are pretty cool. So Microsoft Teams has an AI calendar, has a new AI powered calendar. The system integrates with Outlook, offers unified scheduling experiences, and includes features to book with Copilot, workplace presence tracking, advanced scheduling tools for Teams premier users. So again, you'd need to know what level of Microsoft Teams you're using if you have access to this. And then there's a tool called Zapier that creates agents for you. So if you need more in-depth agents, this is what we're going to be looking at for you next week with how to create these in-depth agents. And then there's these AI calendars. If you're not using the Microsoft world that we just talked about, Reclaim is a good one that you might want to look at. And it integrates with Google Calendar and Outlook calendars. And it gets to know your habits. It automatically adjusts based on your priorities and availability, and based on others' availability as well. And there's a nice little YouTube here that I'll show you next week that you might be interested in seeing earlier. It's right there for you. And another little video on examples on how to use Reclaim, which is an AI tool that I like, to help you manage your time better if it's something that you need help with Reclaim through Google Calendars and so forth. And these are just a whole bunch of productivity tools that are out there that are good, that I thought you might be interested in. And I'm sharing those with you here as well. And we will revisit some of them next week, as well as there's Shopify. There's some things that some of you might be interested in doing. We'll talk about that next week as well. And I think that's it for now. I think that takes us to an hour. I'm not 100% sure because I've stopped a few times. And there you go. Thanks. Happy productivity.